Hey there, my name is Raj, and if you've come to this video randomly, just know that this video is a part of an entire playlist which has a much more structured approach towards OCD and recovery through natural methods. So make sure you check the entire playlist for better understanding. Cheers.
OCD can kiss my ass.
Alright, hi guys. Welcome to the second video of OCD Can Kiss My Ass series. And the second video is about what to expect in the entire series that I'm making. And that's very important for you to understand, what's coming up in the future so that, you guys are clear. And I'm just going to go through it step by step. So this video is about this part. And coming forward, this is going to be understanding OCD by logic and science and understanding the methods by scientific approach. So what I don't want is to tell you or confuse you more. So how I liked it via a proper approach is how I want to teach this forward. So it's got to do with no religion. First and foremost, that's very, very important because a lot of people that I speak to mention that, is this something got to do with religion? Or I said, no, nothing to do with religion. This is simple exercises and simple techniques, whether you want to call it meditation or whatever. That's absolutely your wish, but it's got nothing to do with that. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the map of consciousness and where we exactly are stuck at this point in time by Dr. David Hawkins. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to talk about the basic do's and don'ts about alcohol, during the entire process when you start these exercises that I'm going to be talking about. Right now, not to go with reading more about OCD because your mind is not there right now. You're currently already confused. You're in a fearful state. So not to go through these, I'm going to talk about the basic do's and don'ts. Can you do this with medication? If you're being prescribed medication by a doctor, you do not have to worry about that. I'm going to be talking about it in more detail, and I'm going to be talking about how the road is, that where the most important part is the commitment to this. As such, the exercises are very, very simple, but the main problem is that that it takes commitment to do it every single day and considering the stuff that you're going with. Then I'm going to be coming to the basic theory of OCD. It's very, very important that to have an understanding about the problem or the issue that you're facing. Knowing about the problem that one is facing also takes a big load off someone's head, because at that point in time, when I went through the problems, I was not even sure what this is. And the more I was reading and the more havoc it was creating on my mind, the more fearful I was becoming. So understanding the illness is a very crucial part. So I'm going to be talking about everything like symptoms of OCD, why does OCD happen in the first place, so all the general questions that everyone has with OCD. So where do negative thoughts come from, blah 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 blah, what happened, what to do when you have a panic attack, should you do your compulsions or not, and understanding that why we can't actually fight OCD obsessions with logic and intelligence. Then I'm going to be talking about the techniques that we'll be talking about in this thing. That includes two techniques basically. One is about the breathing technique that on all these techniques basically I've done myself. I'm going to be talking about the technique, the standing technique. I'm going to be talking about the breathing technique, why, the science behind them, how it works, so on and so forth, and the works. And how does one know that basically one has understood or gone through stage one? And I've mentioned these things, 80% better, 90% better. This is just basic understanding. Of course, everyone's different, but this is for my basic understanding that, someone who currently is at a severe OCD kind of thing, if the person continues to do these techniques for, for XYZ months, depending on the person, they'll start having a stability in a normal life after some time. So this is about that. Then I'm going to be coming to the second technique of the witness method, which I call witness method 1.0. There are several names for this. This is what I just like to call it simply. And how this is going to, make you overcome OCD a bit more so that you're no longer scared of when the fear comes to you and whenever it comes. At this point in time, the effect of the fear would probably be very, very less. It'll be something like on and off, a month, in a month, 2-3 times, 4 times, you'll probably get a little, the attack again, but it'll be manageable, rather than having it maybe 10 times a day, at least it'll be, 4 times or 5 times in a month. So by this time, it'll be pretty stable. I hear my thing is that how we stop running from the fear of OCD itself. So this is going to be talking about that. This is learning how to diffuse the entire fears and how no longer you're going to be afraid of any kind of fears that even come in the future. So I'm going to be talking about this, which is a very, very powerful thing. And once you understand it, that you've really, really risen up, not just in terms of OCD, but any kind of fears that come up to you. Then is, of course, understanding fear is simply a fear. We don't even get into it. We don't even have to watch it. It's just like nothing and just a thing. So generally, even if a person does this, I've just mentioned 80%, but yeah, you can live a very, very nice life. It'll probably be back to normal. But I was not the one to, just be like, okay, this is good enough. I'm loving this life. This is good enough. I was the one, okay, no, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to learn the entire science behind it. I want to make sure that I am not afraid of even the OCD coming back in the future. So these are my priorities. So I learned all these things and etc., and just basic things. So this is what's coming up in the entire series. I have tried to make this in the most structured way possible so that you guys do not have a problem. And so the next video is just coming up, which is going to be understanding by logic and science, OCD. All right, thank you guys.